Have you ever been in a situation where you wish you had the right tools to protect yourself? What if you not only had the right tools, but you were holding the same professional tools commonly used by the military, law enforcement, and emergency professionals? Well, now you can. Introducing the Survivor Tactical Flashlight. The Survivor is a professional-grade tactical super bright flashlight to help you see your way through the dark and designed to help you get through the most difficult situations while protecting yourself and loved ones. Military, law enforcement, and emergency professionals have reported this flashlight to be an all-in-one lifesaver and wouldn't go anywhere without it. Satisfied customers have said the Survivor Tactical Flashlight has proven to be very reliable, even under the most severe and challenging emergency situations. The Survivor's multiple features include solar-powered recharging, LED, high, low beam light, emergency strobe light, compass, wire and rope cutter, emergency glass breaker hammer, lightweight but very durable, compact but great handling for all emergencies. This is Rugged Reserve's best value. Consumer rating is a 5 out of 5 stars.
Folks, this is your last chance to get this flashlight before Christmas. They're flying off the shelves. Get it while supplies last. Again, your last chance to get this flashlight before Christmas. Support this channel and get this flashlight. Later. How is everyone? Let's turn that down. There's some echo there that I can't handle. Can everyone hear me okay? Let's see. So much has been happening with the War Drummer, with this channel, with the YouTube page, the Facebook page, the Twitter. So the reason why we decided to go live was that we can make it into a podcast and it can be downloaded and I can be on 5 days a week. Eventually, you'll be able to download the podcast from iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. So, Janelle Hawk shared a link on Facebook that I discovered on my news feed. And just let me say, we have one of the best Facebook groups. The War Drummer Facebook group, I'll leave a link down in the video description for you. We're pretty strict there, right? So if you want a group with the more lax rules, I'd suggest you go over to MeWe.com. There's a War Drummer group there as well. A little out of sorts tonight. I've been struggling with my equipment all day long. It's the first time I've done this. I have no idea what it means to go live or how to go live. So I've had to learn how to do this. But anyway, Janelle Hawk shared this link and I found it. It's found its way into my news feed and it's awesome. Listen to this. The world's most competitive economy. U.S. regains the crown it lost 10 years ago. By Sean, what a great name, Langlois, something like that. But his name's Sean. That's really all that matters, I guess. Once he's done, this is what the article says. Once he's done calling out the AP as fake news and slamming Democrats about immigration laws, Donald Trump just might tweet out this story. And he'd have a good reason to. After a decade-long absence, the U.S. has regained the distinction of most competitive country in the world, according to the World Economic Forum. In fact, only Japan made a bigger improvement of all 140 countries in the survey. Isn't that incredible? That is our great president. Economic recovery is well underway, with the global economy projected to grow almost 4% in 2018 and 2019, said the report, which measures, Mark Hansen said, the cheese factor. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Come on now. Economic recovery is well underway, with the global economy projected to grow almost 4% in 2018 and 2019, said the report, which measures economies by 98 indicators to determine how close they are to the ideal state of competitiveness. The last time the U.S. held the crown was before the financial crisis led the entire global economy into a tailspin. Gee, I wonder what president caused that to happen. There are factors, however, that would keep the U.S. from holding on to its ranking, as the recovery remains vulnerable to a range of risks and potential shocks, the report warned. Specifically, a trade war between the U.S. and China. The U.S. has levied $250 billion on tariffs on Chinese goods. Strong retaliation could put a lid on growth. While the U.S. scores high marks for entrepreneurial culture, labor market, and financial system, other areas could use improvement. For instance, it comes in at 46th place in health life expectancy at 67.7 years on average. Other areas of weakness include checks and balances, judicial independence, and corruption. We have the most corruption. The report also points out that the homicide rate in the U.S. is 5 times the average for advanced economies. I'll repeat that. The report also points out that the homicide rate in the U.S. is 5 times the average for advanced economies. I'll leave a link to this report. It's really neat to see. But also, I want you to see this. Check this out. Let's see if I can get it up there. There you go. It's like the United States is first. The second is Singapore. You know, I get thousands of comments and questions every day, right? Thousands. And it's crazy. I get thousands of emails, thousands of comments, like Mr. Hansen here, Cheese Factor. Hold on, I want to see something really quick. Let's see. Can we find Mr. Hansen? Yeah, Singapore. Singapore is second. Can you believe that? I see trolls. Whom? Why? Get lost. Point them out to me. Show them to me. I can ban them. Do you know that? I can ban any troll right now. And I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Yep, I love banning trolls and never having to see them again. I don't put them on timeout. I just ban them. I love it. Show yourselves. I'll ban you. I'll never see you again. Trolls are fun to destroy, the Unk Boogie said. Let's see. Hey, David J. Yeah, trolls. There's one thing when you troll, like, the president trolls, but then there's the trolls that all they do is want to harm people. They suck. I don't like them. I don't like them. Anyway, I won't worry with them. Like I said, I get thousands of comments and questions every day. If you message me and you don't hear from me, if you email me or you don't hear from me, it's because I get thousands of them. I'm not kidding. And believe it or not, I start reading every message. No matter what, I start reading it. And I say start reading because I can tell in the first few sentences what is coming. Short messages, 2, 3, 4 sentences, they always get read. But the long ones, if the writing is meaningful and is something that resonates with me, like the story I just read to you, if it resonates with me, I'll read it all. There is a private message I received from Tyrone 2 days ago. Folks, I'm a little kind of flustered, so I'm not on my A game, so bear with me. Mr. Henson, can you bear with me? I got to take a chance. I just want to see if I can find him. That's all it takes. That's all it takes is for someone to say this. You're out of here. I don't need that. What'd he say? I'm not a bear, but I'm with you. Hey, that's great. Kicking back, listening. You're good, brother. Yeah, so anyway, I get a lot of emails, and I got this one private message I received from Tyrone 2 days ago, and that it has had my mind really engaged. And because of it, pretty much being about the same thing that I've been thinking about lately. We've been talking about recognizing the Warlocks. We've been talking about other patriots and the division that they cause. Patriots, P-A-Y-triots, the being compromised, the claim of being compromised, and we've been talking about that. Anyway, how many feelings and thoughts do you have about Q, but are too afraid to voice because it will make you appear weak, are not trusting the plan? And this is me asking you this. How many feelings and thoughts do you have about Q, but are afraid to voice them because it'll make you appear weak, or like you're not trusting the plan? On Twitter, they love to do that. They love to say, you're not trusting the plan. And we talked about how some of our fellow patriots feel about that. And that's why I was drawn to Tyrell's message. Check it out. Before I read it, I want you to know that here, at this channel, on our Facebook page, it's okay to question the things you do not understand. Let's work through these things rather than dismiss people and write them off as compromised. Tyrone writes this: Sean, I've really enjoyed your videos lately. I feel like you are addressing some of the things that actually need to be addressed. I am not a fanatic about anything except personal freedom, and I am concerned. I am writing this because I watched your video where you addressed Serial Brain as being the kindest, most patient person you've ever or never met. You went on to describe how he helped build your channel. I know you're busy, so here comes my statement and question. It seems like everything you have said about warlocks and mind control, listen to this very carefully. Everything that you have said about warlocks and mind control can be applied to Q and the Great Awakening. And this was my response. I can understand him saying that, but no. The difference is these warlocks, the sorcerers, these directors and producers in Hollywood, they do it for evil purposes. And Q doesn't ignite our wants and desires like a warlock does. Q doesn't show us images to lust after while showing us violence and horror. Think about this. He may describe some or hint at some of the things that are happening, but he doesn't show them to us. He doesn't pin our emotions against each other. Q is not even playing with our minds like a novelist does. Think about that. When I write fiction, I apply the techniques of the craft, which is, as I've said on many occasions, it is a soft form of the same thing that I am calling sorcery. Writing a novel, it's the same thing, just a soft version of it. I've been talking to patriots this is what he says, he continues. I've been talking to patriots all across the movement, and one thing is consistent. People seem more interested in spreading memes, talking about the insanity of the leftists, generally complaining than actually developing plans to save their communities. It's actually terrifying how passive people are about our situation. People are passive. Why are they passive? Because they're going to go to jail. If you are a rebel, if you are a real rebel and I hate to say an anarchist in this form of government, if you were to stand up and do the wrong thing, you could go to jail. People are afraid of going to jail. He says, I cannot imagine someone revealing the kind of horror that Q has revealed and then telling people to sit back and trust the plan that they didn't create or even know existed. Well, first of all, we know it exists because Q is telling us. But, I think that's a profound thing to realize, that telling people to sit back and trust the plan that they didn't create. I think that's the overall view. It's not talking about what people do on a local level. It's about the overall order of what he's trying to do. He says, I care deeply about this country, and I want to see her free and self-determining. But it doesn't seem like the people are up to the task, are being prepared to take on freedom. Remember, I talked about freedom being self-control. Freedom is not the ability to do what you want when you want. Remember I talked about that? He says, I may be wrong, but they almost seemed hypnotized by the hope that Q is. That's quite possible. I think people can get very comfortable and kind of sit back and watch everything happen rather than get involved when there's someone like Q there. He says, I am writing this because I realize that you are at least trying to make people aware of their part in this. Man, I got so many comments blocking out my screen. You're trying to make people aware of their part in this, and you have parted ways with anonymous sources, which he says is good to him. And he says, what are your thoughts? I'm going to give you my thoughts. And I've got thoughts on being anonymous too, but we're not going to go into that today. What I've come to is that people have taken the human element out of Q, Tyrone. They've taken the human element out. And this would be easy to do, seeing how we have no idea about who he is. Remember when I talked about Neon Revolt questioning him? I said, Q is not a god. He is a man. He is not a God. And when you put the human element back into the equation, it leaves room for mistakes. It leaves room for his mistakes, for Q's mistakes. We get dates wrong, but yet there are some that think if things do not happen as Q says, oh, he's a LARP. I knew it. Did you know it? I'll say it again. Q is not a God, and he can make mistakes. That's one thing that Serial Brain always made clear to me. Q is a man. Q is a man just like you and I, he'd say. Plus, he's kind of given himself an out with the phrase, disinformation is necessary. Think about it. Anytime Q is wrong, disinformation is necessary. But I don't think that's what he's doing there. Remembering that Q is a man leaves room for mistakes. And it also leaves room for us to question him. He's a man. But this is the most important thing. Listen to this. Check this out. I'm going to put this on the screen for you. Check this out. Q 1358. Trust must be earned. He talked about trust in the plan. Trust must be earned. Trust is not blind, nor is truth. We fight every single day on behalf of you, the people who put us here. We knew this day would come. We will never forget. Do not glorify us. We are merely the vehicle. Right there. We are merely the vehicle. He says, Q says, you are what matters. You, me, we are what matters. You are hope. You are love. You are peace. Stay united. Stay together. Stay strong. This is bigger than any one person or entity. You are fighting for truth collectively. You know, why can't the trolls get that into their minds? Why do trolls have to do what they do? Think about it. I mean, what drives a troll to upset people and hurt people? I'm interrupting myself from Q for a second. They hurt people. What drives that? And they are in themselves just like the Warlocks, just like the sorcerers. They attack people in the areas that they know they are weak in. A troll is like a sorcerer, like a warlock. Anyway, Q says, trust in yourself. The choice will always be yours. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Q. I am the Commander's War Drummer. To red pill as many people as possible, please share this video across all social media platforms. If you haven't done so already, you can join me on Facebook, Twitter, MeWe, Minds.com. There's groups that you can join. Look in the video description, you'll find all the links. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.